Hey guys, what's up? It's Kagan, and in today's video I want to talk about Upwork, especially how it concerns people who are just starting out freelancing and how to just get that first job. Because like most people know, if you're actually watching this video, it's probably because you're having the same problem. Getting that first job on Upwork is like one of the most difficult things you can ever do. Like my first 90 days on Upwork, I didn't get any interviews or any jobs, in fact. And when I did finally get an interview, I didn't even get the job. The client decided to hire somebody else. And that can be really daunting because you are actually good enough. It's just so difficult because there's so many other people who are good enough. A lot of people who are watching this video probably already know what Upwork is. But for those who do not know, Upwork is basically a freelancing website where freelancers go and get jobs. Basically, people from all over the world who are looking for freelancers to do quick jobs, whether it's writing, SEO, video editing, voiceover artists, animation work, whatever it is you do, there's a market on Upwork. And it's usually difficult to even get accepted into Upwork because you have to have a kick-ass profile to even get in the first place. Without a proper profile with lots of stuff, lots of detailed stuff, they won't even let you work on your website. So after you get accepted into the website, the next challenge you're going to try to overcome is to actually get that first job. And getting that first job is, my God, I cannot stress this enough. It is difficult, so difficult that a lot of times you are going to want to give up. I will be honest with you, I have been there. Here are my tips to help you overcome that situation and get your first job on Upwork. The first tip that I have for you is to apply for jobs in the first few minutes that they're posted. I know it sounds obvious, but it really isn't. Look, to increase your chances of being the one that gets hired, yes, it makes sense for you to be the first one through the door. Be early, be quick, so that your application gets to the person who posted the job before they actually decide to start interviewing people. In some cases, I know I would probably do the same thing. If I posted a job and somebody applied for it already who was good enough and all I had to do was just make sure they were good enough, I'll probably ignore all the other applicants. It's just how people work. So if you get there first, the chances of you getting the job are increased. Now, keep in mind, because you're new on Upwork, it kind of basically means that you're going to get overlooked a lot, even if you are good enough. A client is going to take a look at your profile, realize that you've not really done or earned any money on Upwork, and just because of that alone, they are not going to hire you. But, and this is a huge but, eventually somebody's going to hire you. Somebody's going to believe in you, and somebody's going to give you that first job, which brings me to my next tip. When you do get that first job, you need to deliver on time and go above and beyond for the client. If they ask you to do ABC, do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I know they're not paying you for that much, but you want the first client to be so impressed with you that they leave you a 5-star review and say glowing stuff about you on your profile. That first review goes a long way in determining whether you're going to be getting more jobs on Upwork or you're never going to get another job again. So it's very important that you make sure you deliver. When you do finally get that opportunity, make sure you deliver on time and you over deliver if possible. Moving to my next tip, you have to learn how to look for low-hanging fruit. What do I mean by low-hanging fruit? For example, on Upwork, their categories are kind of tricky. I'm a video editor, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a YouTuber, and basically what I do, or what I could do for somebody who needed my services, would be to edit videos, right? So technically speaking, you would expect jobs to be posted under a category called video editing, but that's really not the case. On Upwork, they bracket everything into something called video production, which makes sense, but to the layman, in your mind, you're just thinking, why not just call it video editing, right? Well, because video editing isn't always video production. So, it makes more sense for them to have a general category. Now, what do I mean by learn to find low-hanging fruit? There are, There are going to be new people who are trying to hire on Upwork who are not expat Upwork users. They've not really hired on Upwork before. It's basically their first time, and they don't know this information. They don't know about the fact that Upwork categorizes everything under video production and not video editing. So essentially, they're going to post their first job and then they're going to tag it video editing. and almost nobody is going to see that, and weeks are going to go by and they'll probably get 1 or 2 applications at most, or maybe no applications at all. In fact, that is very possible. So you have to learn to look for people like that, people who are really trying to hire. They actually need your help, but they just aren't that skilled or experts with Upwork. In fact, in my experience, those are the best kind of people to work for, because they are more communicative, they are quicker to respond, and they give you what you need to get the job done. So you have to learn to find those people and help them. Find them. Make it your job to look through all the possible variations of keywords of the kind of jobs that the service that you're offering on Upwork, and see to make sure that there are no jobs that are just hanging right there with nobody applying to them. In some cases, you will find these jobs, and it could be your lucky day and it will be your first job on Upwork. Another thing that I'd like to point out for people who are new freelancers on Upwork is you have to learn to look beyond the amount or the value of the job that is being listed. For example, your first job doesn't have to be $1,000. Your first job doesn't have to be $500. Your first job doesn't have to be a $300 job. It could be a $5 coloring job. And this is not exaggerating. I am not making this up. My first job on Upwork was $6. Immediately after that, I got a $600 job. So the contrast is really, yeah. So don't just turn it down or don't refuse to apply to it because you feel like the money is beneath you or it's too small. It's not about the money when you're starting out. The most important thing is to get the first job and get that first review from your first client. Once you can get that out of the way, everything else is going to be easier. Now you know that if you apply quicker, you're going to get jobs, and you already have a great review on your profile. So chances are people are going to be more inclined to hiring you, unlike when you first started out and you didn't even have any history on Upwork, which is basically a turn off for most people. Another tip that I'd like to give to you for people who live in Asia, Africa, Europe, every other country basically that's not the United States, the first thing that you should do after you complete your Upwork profile is take the English test, your spelling test, your English proficiency test, whatever. Just make sure you take it and make sure you do well. I know, of course, English is not that difficult for most people, but it might sound obvious, but you do have to do well in the test, because a lot of people don't want to hire somebody that they cannot communicate with. Like 95% of the jobs that you see on there are for English speaking countries. So make sure you take that test, you take your English proficiency test, and make sure you're actually proficient in English. My last tip is to make sure that you don't give up, no matter how difficult it gets, no matter how tough it gets, no matter how long you've been trying for. Eventually somebody is going to believe in your work enough to hire you. This is a statement of fact. I am not making this up. Eventually somebody will believe in you enough to hire you. So just work hard and wait. Just wait. Eventually somebody will hire you. Okay, so those are just my basic tips for getting your first job on Upwork. I really hope this helps someone. I know it was difficult for me when I first wanted to start freelancing on Upwork. I mean, it's something to get jobs by yourself in person, but some people just don't have the social skills to go out and look for those jobs. It's easier to get the job on the internet. So if you're one of those people, I really hope this video helps you. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you have other tips for freelancers who are trying to get started on Upwork, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I'd really love to hear what you think. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do not forget to subscribe and hit that like button if you really like this video. I'll see you on another video that's shot by Kagan. Yeah, peace.
London Bridge is falling down. Money makes the world go round. Angels make the sweetest sound. Sing good out inside the crowd.